Hello, my name is Pratik, and today we're going to be talking about American hyperpartisanship. That is, the current fierce disagreement between Democrats and Republicans, and its harmful effects on American democracy. But first, we need to ask ourselves, is the spirit of American democracy still alive? Is it in line with what the founders intended it to be? Our country today is strongly divided along party lines. The main cause, hyperpartisanship, will continue to adversely affect the proper functioning of our democracy, tearing us apart both structurally and socially. While I may seem to portray the party system in a bad light, there is a strong basis for why that should remain a part of American democracy. In my own small survey of 8 people, although respondents supported different parties, every single one of them believed that parties had an important role to play in American politics. However, as Drutman of Vox says, while we can't have democracy without partisanship, when partisanship overwhelms everything, it becomes increasingly difficult for democracy to function. In recent years, parties have become more rigid in their ideologies and polarized over important national issues. Partisan distrust has also seeped into the public. A 2014 Pew Research survey found that 27% of Democrats said the GOP is a threat to the well-being of the country, and a higher 36% of Republicans think Democrats are a threat. According to another survey by the Pew Research Center, general public trust of the government in 2019 was at a historic low of 17%. All these trust statistics are at record lows, highlighting the threat to the unity of the country. In a race to permanently cement party power in the House and Electoral College, hyperpartisanship has fueled the unfair use of gerrymandering. With the national census, which occurs every 10 years, states are broken down into smaller districts based on the number of assigned representatives. Parties in control of the state draw lines to maximize the number of elected members from their own party. Let's look at an example of how they do this. Assume this rectangle is a state with 40% Republicans and 60% Democrats. If we divide the state crosswise, we get 2 Republican seats and 3 Democrat seats. On the other hand, if we divide the state lengthwise, we get 0 Republican seats and 5 Democrat seats. This is clearly unfair. However, using expert guidance and gerrymandering tools, we can divide the state to give us 3 Republican seats and 2 Democrat seats. Still unfair. This topic is especially important given the next national census is in 2020. Because of the hyperpartisanship climate, both parties are increasingly aware and ready to use gerrymandering to devalue the votes of certain citizens, destroying the fair and accurate representation essential to democracy. Hyperpartisanship has also led to the use of the judiciary branch as a party tool. In an ideal state, our democracy is divided into 3 independent branches of the executive, judiciary, and legislative, who have a system of checks and balances to maintain equal power. The issue stems from the fact that the president nominates Supreme Court justices, who are then confirmed by the Senate. This creates an imbalance of power because the judiciary branch is controlled by both the other branches, who can impart their partisan ideologies onto the court. And because these judges are elected for life, they can play an important role in helping further a certain party's ideologies. The biggest evidence of a partisan court is multiple 5-4 decisions, with justices divided along party lines. The number of Supreme Court 5-4 decisions has jumped from 2% to 20%, with 2/3 of those being along ideological lines. As the court makes very important and controversial decisions for society, any partisan influence can be very harmful and can have grave impacts on society. Hyperpartisanship's polarizing effects can also be seen in society. During a recent talk by Sean Spicer, he was met with disruptive protesters, stifling civil discussion from taking place. In November of 2018 at UMass Amherst, racist posters were found, revealing the rise of political tensions and aggression from across the aisle. Safe and civil discussions are disappearing, with both parties attacking each other. As society continues to divide along party lines, there's an increasing necessity to find unity. Some solutions to counter hyperpartisanship include increasing the number of representatives in the Electoral College to nullify the use of gerrymandering. Initiatives like the Fair Voting Act recommend further steps to guarantee fair voting. However, the one thing all methods need in common is some amount of bipartisanship. Ultimately, we need to all remember that we're united in our goal of securing a better future for our country, the United States of America. Thank you for watching.